news emanating from the camp of the Super Falcons as one woman is dreaming of homecoming to Paris. Perhaps she has seen herself qualifying for the Olympics. Already talk about the goalkeeper of the Super Falcons. All these and many more in the world of tennis, Formula One, basketball. Yes, something amazing happened in the early hours of this morning in the NBA. Stay tuned to find out. And of course, we will be taking you around the world of transfer as the market is eating up already. My name is Franklin Imona, the one you love to call Uncle Fine Boy, because I'm the finest uncle talking sports in the capital city and beyond. And of course, I am not alone on the show. I've got the big man himself. Other people call him the big fish, but I call him the big man because he's big all around. My partner joins me on the show.
Okay, guys, you heard the voice of Fine Boy telling you all you need to know as we begin to crisscross the world of sports to bring you all the latest happenings across the globe, from Nigeria to Africa to Europe and out to the utmost part of the world, bring you up to speed with everything you need to know on the hour, just like you like it. Okay, I am your sport bishop, the magistrate, the pilot, the prophet, the professor, none so Arinze Chi. I can always love to say it's time to rumble.
It is indeed a time to rumble, and we are not taking you to the jungle. We will keep you right here in the studio. Stay with us. Let's go on this breather. When we return, it will be game on. News from the local scene. Sport is a religion. Voice of the People 96.1 FM is your worship center, and Uncle Fine Boy together with the Sport Bishop, we are your sporting priest. It is game on. And the game is officially on as we take you to the camp of the Tigress following their qualification for the Olympics. We hear that they have now been paired to take on France, Australia, and Canada. Yes, we recall in the morning we brought you that report that yes, the date has been fixed as well as the time. First, they play Australia before playing the host nation, France, and then they will cap it up playing the likes of Canada in their last game. Sport Bishop, it has been a winless for these team talking about the Tigers in the Olympics. Perhaps it will be a breath of fresh air or a new dawn as they set to take on these nations. Do you feel that it is time that this jinx will be broken? First, playing Australia, and then they will play the host nation before capping it against Canada.
Like you did say, let's be realistic. When the list was first of all brought out earlier this week, and we were like, Nigeria playing the likes of, teams that we would expect that are top above us in the FIBA ranking, the likes of Canada, the likes of Australia, and host France. And we were like, okay, what can we do? We had have a crazy record at the Olympics. We failed to win a single game. But at the World Cup, we seem to be doing well. So maybe this is time for the Tigers to turn the tide. They've shown total dominance in Africa basketball. I think they won the last 3 Afro basketball. And they're already through already to qualify for the next Afro basketball that will take place in Côte d'Ivoire. We talked about that yesterday as well. So it's about them showing dominance against the rest of the world. And what better ways to play? The Paris Olympic is not like the World Cup. In the World Cup, there's a little bit more pool of teams that can participate. But in the Olympic, it's the best that gather the best. Imagine starting your campaign on the 29th against Australia, and then you play 3 days later you go against the host on France 4:15 p.m. and again Canada 3 days later again you play 12:30 p.m. These guys are in the top 10 when it comes to talking about FIBA ranking in the world. The girls have to step up. I'm not too optimistic. I'm more about them gathering experience because I'm going to be sincere with you. They've been chopping and changing under Coach Wakama. The team that we used to know are not the same team that are there. This team is a team that Wakama had to rebuild for her to win retain the Afro basketball last time out in Kigali. And let's see whether these girls can swim against the big fishes. If our big names couldn't, maybe this one could. who knows? The tide has changed.
A competition in a row, are winning it back to back, and they are on course to win it for the 5th time in a row. We pray that the Tigers do as well. Of course, that has been the bane of every Nigerian going into any major competition. It's always prayers and more prayers. All right, away from the Tigers, let's stop by in the camp of the Nigerian Women League as some games went down yesterday. Not so good news for our owner, Ninja Rattles. Yes, they were beaten by they were beaten by Adamawa United by 2 goals to nil. Yeah. But then that's not at the point of worries now. Let's hear from the coach of Dana's ladies as they fell to the Nasarawa Amazon. Catching up with coach Bashiru Fatai. He spoke and I don't want to tell you what he said. Let me leave him to tell you what he said himself.
All right. Yes. Coach Yagajia.
Alhamdulillah.
Coach, Coach, what's your name, please?
Yeah, good evening. My name is Bashir Fatai, Dana's Ladies FC coach of Lagos State.
You're here in Lafia, the Lafia City Stadium, where your girls just finished playing against Nasarawa Amazons. It ended 3-1 against your team. In your disposition.
Yeah, it's although we lost, I'm not good with that, but that's football for us. It's a game of win, draw, or you lose. But when it comes to us, you lose, we won't be comfortable. But what you can do, that's football for us. We want to just accept that we look for good football, and there is good football from the both sides. And thank God, injury-free game. That's good for us.
Okay, from every indication, what actually went wrong with your games? Because it appeared that Danas, you were behind trailing Amazons before on the table. And before this game, you had said you were coming here to get maximum points or share the points. But what happened?
Yeah, that's a critical question I need to answer. But, as football, we are coming far, fatigue. Even on Thursday, we need to stay. Last time we came from Nigeria to Abuja, we need to stay all through and come here and stay. Make 3 days before the game. But unfortunately, we need to go back to Lagos. We have FA Cup. We should play on Thursday. No time to relax. We need to board again, come back down here. All this thing is what affects the players, as you can see. And then even on the pitch, you try to give the best, but the best is not awarded as well.
Perhaps finally, Danas Queens are a team that just came into the league. What would you say is your description of the league, the Nigerian Women's Football League?
Yeah, as it is now. A lot of people think if you are home, it's not for you to win. But let good football shows. When anybody comes to Lagos to play football, we open the game and everybody sees. And as you can see, when Nasarawa came to Lagos, everything is free. As you see today, the game is free. But when we lose, we have nothing to blame. We just need to accept the loss. And what, as I said it before, we need to look for the best of the player and the best game which it chose from the player. Apart from the fatigue, they are doing good and they can still do more better.
They are doing good and indeed they can do better. Words of Coach Bashir Fatai of Dana's ladies following that defeat by Nasarawa Amazon. And then the coach of Nasarawa Amazon, he also spoke to us following that impressive win over Dana's ladies. Hear him talk to us.
Hold on for the chief. I know this is a moment of double celebration, just like my colleague just said. Your reaction?
Yes, winning is a mentality, and you always thank God when things are going right or even wrong for you. So God has been helping us. This is a team that is evolving. At the beginning of the season, we lost almost 21 players. So we said we were rebuilding. And God is helping us. We're getting the right attitude, we're getting the right approach, and players that have the right hunger, knowing what it means or it takes to be in the Super 6, and apart from the Super 6 to play in the continent.
You just came back from the All-African Games, and one would have expected that a couple of your players would have been having some resting moment. When we saw their names in the lineup, what was your intention?
It's not an intention. It is a level of professionalism. In England, you find people playing matches Wednesdays and Sundays. They are human beings like us. All you need to do is to raise your level of thinking. And they didn't become professionals or great players by playing only on Saturdays. They play from one competition to the other. They are just coming down from international break, and you find them in the league. So what's the difference with us?
How difficult was today's game against Chelsea?
Yeah, a game becomes difficult when you're not putting your acts together to make goals. But immediately you begin to get it, you don't get confused when it's not going on. What you try to do is see how you balance and get the best out of your players. They are human beings.
All right, I see now you get balance and get the best out of your players because they are still human being. A word of Coach Christopher Danjuma Musa, coach of Nasarawa Amazon Sport Bishop. Indeed, it was an interesting game yesterday. Just one game ended in a draw,
exactly.
A goalless draw between Royal Queen and Conference Queens. Game of the Queens. All the games, it was goals galore.
Exactly, like you did say, plenty of actions went down in the Nigerian Women Football League for Nassau Amazons. Like we did tell you, 3-1, it ended for Nassau Amazons. Jovi Kesena in the 22nd and 85th minute. Odo Biabiana in the 52nd minute. Delight I scored a penalty late on for Danas Ladies, but it was not enough as we were beaten by 3-1. Hadlamre 4-1 better than Abia Angels. Chinedu Uchinaka, Chine Mere Okpara 9 in the 9th minute, and Mary Lucky scoring, as well as Chinaka scoring, completing our brace in the 57th minute. Biaho Tess scoring in the 70th minute. A concession goal for Abia Angel, but that game ended by 4-1 in that encounter. Rivers Angels, the sole goal from Chiamaka Okuchuku. The penalty in the 75th minute was enough for Rivers Angels to beat Delta Queens by a goal to nil. A goalless draw between Royal Queens and Conference Queens. We told you that far away in Sapele. Edo Queens continued their scoring spree with scoring 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A brace from Goodness, Osigwe, Suliat Abedin, and of course Eunice Godwin all getting in the score sheet, while Ireti Eroton and Shola Oduole both scored, but unfortunately they were beaten 4-2 by Edo Queens. Adamawa Queens beat Nigeria Autos by 2-0. I think that's the biggest news for me. Ejimaku Ngwengwen, the 30th minute, and Ono Oguche both scoring for Adamawa Queens far away at the Pantami Stadium in Gombe in that one. And of course, Bayelsa Queens beating Remo Stars Ladies by 3-1. Chienere, Obamalo, Mashud Shakirat, and Aderemi Mary all scoring. Vincent Precious scored the only goal for Remo Stars, but they were condemned to a 3-1 loss. So it's fully Royal Queens nil, Conference Queens nil, Adamawa Queens 2, Nigeria Tels nil, Heartland 4, Abia Angels 1, Nasarawa Amazons 3, Danas Ladies 1, Bayelsa 3, Remo Stars Ladies 1, FC Robo 2, Ekiti Queens nil, Edo Queens 4, Sunshine Queens 2, and Rivers Angels beat Delta Queens in the Battle of the Queens by a goal to nil.
All right, quickly looking at how the table stands in the Nigerian Women Football League after match day 12. It's all about Edo Queens topping the table in the Group A. Edo Queens top the table after 10 games. After 10 games, they played 10, actually won 7, drew 1, and lost, drew 2. I beg your pardon.
Unfortunately,
lost 1.
Exactly. That's how it looks like heading into. Unfortunately, that's not the real table. Unfortunately, a lot of games have changed and been played in that one. But we know as we speak that the table, this is what the table looks like before the start of match day 11 fixtures. 11,
okay, that's true.
Exactly, in the Nigerian Women Football League. So for some teams like Rivers, Nigeria Tels they sit still 7th on the table in Group A, despite dropping all 3 points away in Gombe United. So far so good. We'll let you know that it's almost as business as usual. The only team that have dropped out of the top 3 is Danas Ladies, who now moved to 5th. While Conference Queens step up and now 3rd on the log. So that's how it looks like in the Nigerian Women Football League at the moment. So far so good. We're heading closely and surely to the end of the normal season as we gradually push into the Super 6. That is the business end of the season.
All right, and looking at the women's Nigerian Women League table currently after match day 12, Nasarawa Amazon sits at number 1 in Group A, while Edo Queens follow suit with Afcon amount about 26 points. I haven't played 12 games. Nigeria Ratters are currently in 3rd after playing 12 games. They have won 5, drew 3, and lost 4. They have 18 on the log. All right, let's move away from that. We will still keep tracking the NWFL table to make sure that we give you, let you know how it is standing. All right, away from that, Sport Bishop, I will hear that the game between USM Origins and that of Rivers United will be going down this Sunday at exactly 5 p.m. And the coach, Garrido, is talking tough, saying that USM Origins will definitely target a win right here in Nigeria.
I think in his word exactly, he said we'll do everything to come back with a win from Nigeria. That's what his words. For him, Gorido, going to the Gospel Abio Stadium is a stadium where they are not used to playing. Let me be sincere. I don't think they've had a good run in that stadium, especially when they played Aqua United at some point. So, but is the CAF Competitions Cup our only hope in the continent, which is Rivers United. Don't forget, the MPFL also did them some favor by postponing their next 3 games, so allowing them time to concentrate on ensuring that they do well in the continent. So wait and see how things pan out. That game, like I said, is at the Gospel Ababio Stadium. It will take place 2 p.m. Nigerian time in Uyo. We'll wait and see whether Rivers Angels have got enough firepower in them. They've got players Yima and Yangwa. They've got some good quality players in the team, and hopefully they will shine on the day and get them something to take away to Algiers, because I think whatever Rivers United play in this encounter will determine how far they would go when the second leg do take place far away in Algiers in the fortnight.
All right, and now taking you back to the Nigerian Women's Football League. This is how the table looks like. In Group A, Atlant Queens sit atop. Haven't played 11 games. They have won 6, drawn 3, and lost 2. They have a monster 21 points. Nasarawa Amazon is at second with 20 points. Confluence Queen is at third with 18 points. Adamawa Queens is seated at number 4 with 15 points. While Danas Ladies completes the top 5 with 14 points. Abia Angels sixth with 14 points, and Ninja Rattles 7th with 11 points. Royal Queens deeply rooted at the relegation zone with just 10 points. And in Group B, Rivers Queens sit number 1 with 22 points. Rivers Angels follow suit with just 1 point behind Rivers Queens with 21 points. Edo Queens is third with 19 points, while Robo Queens sits 4th with 18 points. Delta Queens is at number 5, haven't played 11 matches. They have 12 points, same with Remo Stars Ladies. They are both tied at 12 points, but Delta Queens is top of Remo Stars courtesy of the goals difference. Sunshine Queens is at number 7 with 10 points, and Kitty Queens is deeply rooted at the bottom with just 8 points. It's looking like Bielsa Queens, Rivers Angels, and Edo Queens might just be the team to come out of Group B into the Super 6, while in Group A, Atlant Queens, Nasarawa Amazons, and the Confluence Queens might just be the top 3 teams in Group A. Only time will tell if the table will not change.
Wait and see. A lot of football to be played. Don't forget, only 2 teams will be relegated, 1 from Group A and 1 from Group B. And of course, only 3 teams from each of the group, either in Group A or Group B, will make it to the Super 6 that will determine, first of all, the team that will head to the continent to represent Nigeria and who will be crowned the winners of the Nigerian Women Football League.
Sport Bishop, NPFL, NNL will not be going down this weekend. It's all about Federation Cups final all across the federation. Where you want to pitch your tent? Is it in the east, where we have games going down, or is it in the west, or north, or south? If you ask me, I will tell you I am everywhere.
I shall be focusing on the east. Come on. I'm from the east. I did report. We did report yesterday about Harlan being dumped out by Okukoma FC. Come on, you'll be sad to see a different name representing Imo State. I beg your pardon, in the FA Cup proper. But it is what it is. We've seen teams being knocked out. You had the coach of Dallas saying that they will go back home to play in the FA Cup as well. Talking about the female FA Cup. So a lot of upsets so far. But at the end of the day, to me, what's really up for grabs is the continental ticket place. Winner of the competition will be playing the continent. It doesn't matter whether they're playing the NLO, whether they're playing the NNL, whether they're playing in the non-league. You win the competition if you have enough fundings to do your games. Why not? You'll be competitive. So for me, it's for the teams who are not doing too well in the MPF, at least another backroom door to get to play the CAF Competitions Cup come next season. All
right, and talking about next season, it's all about teams that are really getting ready to make sure that their team's flag is hoisted come next season in the Nigerian Women Football League, as well as the Nigerian Premier Football League, not forgetting the Nigerian Nationwide League. Sport Bishop, let's move out of the shores of Nigeria, but still touching down Africa. Sad news coming down from the camp of Sierra Leone, as we hear that former Sierra Leone international Lamina Bangura has died age 59 after being involved in a road accident in the West African nation. on Tuesday night. He died in the early hours of Wednesday morning following the various injury he sustained. We hear that his team was actually going to prosecute a game and we are joining by road when his team Port Authority FC was involved in an accident. We hear that the bus collided with a stationary truck. Could it be that the driver was sleeping? But what we hear is that the coach, Lamin Bangura, who was a former Sierra Leone international, he played for the team and helped them qualify for the 1994 and the 1996 African Cup of Nations.
Yeah.
A sad one, Sport Bishop.
He was also part of the technical staff that were part of the 2021 African Cup of Nations as well. So sad one. Big loss to Africa football, big loss to Sierra Leone football. Like you said, an absolute legend on the pitch of play, an absolute legend off the pitch of play. And as a coach, as a player, he was a fantastic friend, a father, a mentor, a motivator. And come on. These are the things we do not want to hear, but this is part of life. I wish the family the fortitude to bear the loss, and most importantly, to be able to comfort them in the trying times like this.
Another sad news, Sport Bishop. It's just raining sad news in Africa, but this time far away in Ethiopia.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier in the morning about a certain player who committed suicide. I don't think it's acceptable in any way in the world.
Just after he got wedded.
Imagine what state do you want to leave the young lady in particular? What must really have gone wrong for you to decide to take your own life? And a report from Ethiopia is that the young man is a quality player who is beginning to start life afresh, hoping to play football in Europe, and then this. Absolutely shocking if you'd ask me.
All right, away from those uncheering news and move to more cheering news, but not too cheering for the Ghanaians, but cheering for Nigeria. As coach Otto Addo is already complaining that he do not understand his team, that is going to be very, very difficult qualifying for the World Cup following their winless games in the just concluded international friendly. Just like Coach Vinidi, George is complaining that he doesn't have the luxury of players at his disposal. Hence, this man is beginning to ring the complaining bell and reading the book of lamentation.
Come on, we need to be see. I think it's normal for a coach, especially a coach with the manager of Otto Addo, who has been in the technical crew of Borussia Dortmund in Germany, to be concerned about the poor stars' poor form. He just joined after the World Cup in in Qatar, if I'm not mistaken. He resigned and went back to Dortmund, and then a certain Chris Hughton, former Brighton manager, was brought in to tinker the team, and it didn't just happen for them. We saw what happened at the African Cup of Nations. It was shambolic, abysmal, unacceptable, and I think right now they're in an 8-game run of poor form, really poor form, if you ask me. But it is what it is. He has acknowledged that his team has a significant amount of work to be done, and I think he knew that before he took the job. The job is to get them to the World Cup. Let's wait and see if it's possible. But let's be sincere. For you to go a long period of time without winning a game, it has a psychological effect on the team. So it is what it is. 2-1 loss to Nigeria, 2-2 loss to Uganda. I can't remember the last time Ghana won a game. It tells you that there's a lot of problems. If you look at where they sit in Group I in the World Cup qualifier, they have 3 points from 2 matches. They have scored only 1 victory and one defeat. Come on, it's going to be tough for them. But if there's any man who can do the job, it's going to be Otto Addo. I think he has proved that. We saw how they played at the World Cup. It was the unleash of one man, Mohamed Kudus. I think that World Cup brought him to the limelight. And so he understands how to use younger players. My problem is the fact that I don't know whether the national team, I said this when Ghana released their list for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, why the Jordan Ayus are always in that team. I'm not against the fact, I believe you're good enough, whether you're 40, 35, I agree. But how well have these players played for the Black Stars of Ghana? I could excuse Jordan. He scored twice in the 2 games where they lost 2-1 to Nigeria and 2 to Uganda. What about Andre Ayew?
I would tell you, having those players in the starting lineup or in the dressing room,
Jordan is starting.
It tends to give the other players this motivation and confidence.
How
that
well
they
has the motivation
been? Experience matters, Bishop.
Experience is important, but you don't bring in experience at the detriment of your team.
How about a certain Ahmed Musa?
He's not been playing.
But he's been called.
Absolutely. That's different. Jordan Ayew is playing. Adra Ayew is coming from the bench. The man they keep those guys on the bench, they cause a riot in the team. We've seen it happen before. So you can't hardly. Why not just look close, turn a blind eye towards them, get players who are playing regularly in their clubs, and then find a way to tinker your team, because the more they are still in that team, the more they are demigods, and the more they have some control over the players in that team.
All right, finally from the local scene, before we go on a commercial break and return to take you to the foreign scene, if this report is anything to go by, Sport Bishop, we might not just be seeing the WAF corner for this year. As a report emanating from the camp of Morocco and Egypt, according to former BBC sport reporter Sazu Obawewunya, through his social media, revealed that the competition is set to be annoyed that the stage in the 2024 African Cup of Nations is facing a serious threat. Though he didn't give an explicit reason as to why the WAFCON may be cancelled, but it's looking like uncertainty is hovering around women's football in Africa.
I saw this coming. You know, whenever you hand over the hosting of rights to one certain country every other day, despite how ready they are, it tends to affect. Sometimes they can be able to give you that we whole knife or we whole yam kind of feeling.
There's some report that it looks like Morocco is the new headquarters of a CAF.
Absolutely, they're in control.
They call the shots.
They're hosting the next under 17 World Cup for the next 5 years. FIFA has given them the right. There's going to be an annual tournament. They've hosted the WAFCON for the past year. We heard they're going to host it for the next 2 years.
They are hosting the Afcon, the next edition of the Afcon.
Imagine, don't forget, most of the guys who can't get a proper stadium to host their games, because FIFA cannot do not give approval to the stadium, play their games in Morocco.
The next All-African Games is going to Morocco.
So they're practically in control of African sports at the moment. And now, if they decide to lean back and say, come on, the weight is becoming too much, it is. But I think the WAFCON will hold. I don't think it will. Come on, we all know what these things. At some point, even if it's at the dying minute, and Morocco cannot host it, CAF will find a way to get someone else to do it. Don't forget, listen to the Minister of Youth and Sports a few days, but I just got the facilities. Don't worry, they can dust it up quickly, and we host a WAFCON. We host the WAFCON. Don't forget, for like 4 years, 4 times they rolled at some point in the past. So it's not big for us.
They have hosted the World Cup. The Under 17 World Cup.
To be precise.
But it's still a World Cup.
Absolutely. So I think CAF will find a way around it. But I don't think it will be postponed. I don't think it will not hold. It will find a way to hold, and that's very important. Quickly before we go on the break as well, let's let you know that FIFA is set to back Kenya from hosting the 2027 African Cup of Nations. This is because of a third-party interference. We hear that the FIFA is threatening them because they were given a ban. The FA gave a ban against the AGM. That's a court in Kenya gave a ban against the AGM that was to hold and stopped the AGM from holding. And FIFA is threatening them, saying that due to the third-party interference, we'll wait and see whether the Afcon will still be held in Kenya, or that Kenya will do the needful and ensure that the AGM hold immediately. We'll wait and see. But like I keep saying, you can't. Who plays the tune? Plays the pipe? How did they say? Absolutely. They can't keep funding and you let us know that FIFA is this, FIFA is that. They will surely want to have a say as well. And that is where I stand in my own submission.
Sport Bishop, we are going to have this discussion extensively on Saturday. Sports and football and politics. Sports and politics.
Absolutely.
At what point should we draw the line? At what point should a nation or a club stop running to the government?
We'll talk about it. But in Africa, I think there's no line anyway. That's my own thing.
No, we have to draw the line because it's becoming
in Africa,
too many.
There is no line in Africa because at the end of the day, they run to government for subvention and for everything. And then finally, from athletics, we hear following the outstanding host of the 2023 African Games in Accra, Ghana, the Confederation of African Athletes (CAA) has approached Ghana to bid for the hosting right of the 2026 Athletics Championship. Ghana hosted the successful Africa game with 53 countries with over 5,000 athletes on a parade. The last time Ghana hosted the competition was 1979. Cameroon is scheduled to hold the 2025 edition of the championship. Ghana again, after a wonderful African Games, the 13th edition, we hear that it's the CAA, that is Confederation of African Athletes, saying, please, I beg, bid to host the Athletics Championship in 2026.
Stay right here. We will be right back.
Do you like what we do? Want to see some more of us? Head over and meet us on YouTube, Insta, and Twitter. At Voice of the People 96.1 FM. Share us on your socials. Tell everyone. Send us a message. We'd love to hear from you. Follow us at Voice of the People 96.1 FM. See ya.
Muryar masu sauraro mita 96.1 zangon FM Abuja.
Yanzu kuna da murya.
Now, you can enjoy the original taste of premium American Romeo's Pizza. Juicy, just the way you like it. To order online from Guarimpa, call 090-8831-5908. Garki 090-8831-5906. And Lupe 090-9238-9861. Romeo's Pizza, the pizza champions.
Coming in hot, just like the heat.
We have been serving you hot and fresh content on radio, and you have been loving it. Now we're taking it further. Catch us live on YouTube at BOP TV for all the juicy content you can't resist. Talk shows, exclusive interviews, news, lifestyle, and more. It's all about you. BOP TV, show up, speak up.
After a long week at school, don't you want to wind down and have fun?
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you!
Tune in to the Kids Cafe and enjoy story time, spelling bees, and poems, and win amazing prizes. Kids Cafe, Saturdays at 11 a.m. on VOP 96.1 FM. It's the Kids Cafe. Come, let's have fun.
I can't think of a rhyme.
Glory to God and to the Lamb. Beauty to the throne of eternity.
Brotherhood of the Cross and Star presents the Everlasting Gospel Movement on Radio every Saturday, 6 to 7 p.m. on 96.1 FM. Tune in and be blessed. Thank you, Father.
Voice of the People, 96.1 FM. Tune in for all the action. Rep your team and be loyal to the game. Sports Lounge, weekdays 4 to 5 p.m. Now, you have a voice.
Welcome back to the second half of the Sports Show, Sports Lounge. It comes your ways every Mondays to Fridays at exactly 4 p.m. We got around to talk sport like never before with me, Franklin Imuna, the one you love to call Uncle Fine Boy, and
the Sport Bishop, the magistrate, the pilot, the prophet, the professor, non-swearing Zaichi.
All right, just so you know, we are currently streaming live on YouTube. Quickly go to our YouTube channel and get in touch with the Sporty family. Do well to like, share, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And when you do that, do not forget to hit the notification bell, just that bell icon on our YouTube page. And with that, you will be notified anytime we are live on air, not just sport, but other amazing programs. And what's our talking point for today? Simple. It is an open mic Thursday.
Absolutely. You can call in and talk to us about anything on your mind. Tell us if it's basketball, Formula One, golf, tennis. What do you think? Is it the coaching crew of the Super Eagles? Is it the games that were played, the last two games of the Super Eagles? Is it about the Tigers, the Super Falcons game that will come up against South Africa?
Or your club, you want to vent on your club.
Are you happy with how your club is being run? Or is there something wrong with your coaching crew? Is there a player that you want out as soon as now? Anything on your mind, guy, talk to us. Open mic, I tell you. And how do you do that? You can call us on this number, send us a WhatsApp message, a WhatsApp voice note, call us on WhatsApp call, or drop us an SMS. Either way, on this same number, it's 0700 010 961 961. I'll take that again, 0700 010-961-961. And you'll be part of the show. Don't forget, you can also drop your comments on the YouTube. For those watching on YouTube, watching us live on YouTube, you can drop your comments on the YouTube. We'll read those messages out as well. And those listening to us on Radio Garden anywhere in the world, I tell you, we're live on Radio Garden anywhere in the world. You can drop us an SMS, a message, a voice note, or a call. We'll be ready to hear from you because it is your voice, and this is the voice of the people.
Let's take you to the foreign scenes. And to the foreign scene, we will take you, Sport Bishop. I told you yesterday that I do not want to talk about Brazilians and their misdoings.
Shenanigans.
Just when I've made up my mind not to, Danny, bad boy, Alves, decided to play this one on me. He says, Uncle Fine Boy, you must keep talking about us because we are the life of the party. Barely 24 hours that Danny Alves was released from prison on bail. We hear that he went partying into the early hours over Thursday morning following his father's birthday celebration. Danny Alves had to take the party from the club down to his home, and he partied all night long. Sport Bishop, this guy is not repentant at all.
All night long, my brother. What do you expect from a player who has been in prison for so long a time, almost over a year, and then to get a release from prison after paying a bill of over 1 million euros, that is 853,000 pounds. He's paid that amount of money, huge amount of money. I don't know where he got that from, but he got it at the end, and then he expected not to party. Don't forget, like I said, even if he was proven guilty, he has paid it. He has served his term, he has paid his fee. But don't forget, he's still going to court to prove his innocence. He says, I did no wrong, in his words, and the case came still in court. But come on, he has the right to party, but I hope he'll be partying safe this time around.
I hope so, because I was discussing these off air with a colleague of ours, and he said, Uncle Fine Boy, I hope nobody will come out after yesterday. I said, this guy did not touch me.
He helped me, he pushed me to the wall. and I refused, and I said, no, Danny. And then he said, come on, are you not above your age limit? You know the story?
It's always dicey.
Absolutely.
Sport Bishop, talking about age, we saw 17-year-old Brazilian Hendrick after scoring that equalizer 2-2 against Spain full time. Just when everybody was greeting the fans, others walking down to the dressing room, this guy went down to where the fans were. He rushed to a lady. And to this lady.
Wow.
And from the report that we got, we hear that the lady is his girlfriend, is 17-year-old, and the lady is 21 years old. Sport Bishop.
3 years older, 20 years.
Is this not underage? Is this not wrong? If it were a man that actually did that to a 17-year-old girl, come on, the women world will start screaming pedophilia.
I'll start from this. I think in Europe, and of course in America, the age limit for you to become adult is 16. Unfortunately, in Africa, it's 18. In Europe, it's 16. The boy is 17, is above the age. You can have a girlfriend or two. Don't forget, he's not the first man to go under the issue of this. We had a certain Chihuahua who used his first salary to buy his girlfriend a car of how much. And then immediately that happened, his mother came to us now and I had to say, please, for now, until he gets to a certain age, let the money be coming to her account. But it is what it is, man.
We saw a certain Garnacho of Manchester United just last summer. His girlfriend put to bed.
Absolutely, you know. We saw Raheem Sterling had how many kids at the age of 17? Remember?
Phil Foden, how old is he? He has about 3 children
so
already.
It is what it is. I can't stop a man from being a man. He's just doing what he has to do when he has to do it. I just hope for a man whose footballing career is just starting, he's not yet there at the pinnacle. He looks like the next big thing in Brazilian football. This doesn't look like a distraction. Most importantly, if he's still focused in his game, still playing the best football, keeping his fitness level high, ensuring that he's training, working hard off the pitch of play. It doesn't matter how many girlfriends he has. If he keeps doing the job, his stock keep rising. He could be the next big thing in Brazilian football.
He could be. Could is probability.
Absolutely.
And talking about being the next big thing in Brazil, we hear that Richarlison, he has come out to confess that after the 2022 World Cup, he fell into depression. Hope this will not be the case for Hendrick.
Depression is to me, it's a normal thing. It's how you deal with it. When you lose a game, you're not happy. Normally we're winners here at Voice of the People. We hate to lose. But like I say every other days, winning and losing are part of life. You can't win every other game. It's not possible. So for him to say he struggled with depression, he even considered quitting football for the Charleston, means it was that deep. But I'm happy that he's now refocused. He's now scoring goals reckless abandon for Spurs. He's now playing well for the national team. But these players, that's why I said every team, I repeat, and maybe you will have to echo, whether it is cadet football under 17, whether it is under 20, under 23 football, every team needs a psychologist. Someone who is always there, to pick the players up when they fall, because they are humans, first of all.
True.
And we should begin to take this mental health issue as something serious. He's not the first player coming out to cry about depression. There was a certain Tony Adams who said he was depressed. At some point, he fell into alcoholism, had to pull himself out of there. There's many players who have had their stories of depression, and that is why the mental health is a major issue in European football right now. Let you know that, oh yes, you are human, you can fall, you can be depressed, but this is how to deal with it, this is who to talk to, and this is how to get out of it. So, just like me and you, they are normal human beings. And I'm happy that he's coming out to talk about these things, these mental health issues, and he's trying to urge other players to ensure that they participate, they get a psychologist who can also speak to them in their downtime.
Obviously, Richarlison is a winner to me. He has won depression.
He always wants to win. Absolute winner.
He has. Still waiting your contribution on the studio line at 070-0010-961-961. 070-0010-961-961. Keep your calls coming, keep your text message coming, keep your WhatsApp message as well as your WhatsApp call, WhatsApp voice note. We want to hear from you, as well as on YouTube. Go there, type your message, either that is the platform you want to use. Feel free to explore. We are set, ever ready to give you a voice. Spot Bishop, it seems that this man does not look like he is going to change anytime soon. Talking about Newcastle midfielder.
This was earlier this season while he was still playing, before the investigation against the betting issue started. I'm talking about about Sandro Tonali.
Before then, he had some issues in AC Milan
already.
Before moving
to the English Premier League. We hear that the midfielder Sandro Tonali is charged with misconduct by the Football Association for allegedly breaching betting rules. He's currently serving a 10-month ban as we speak by the Italian Football Federation in October for breaking betting rules. And now again we hear he has placed 50 bets on matches between, just imagine 50 bets. Guess how many matches, how many months? Just August and October.
50.
12th of August to the 12th of October. I think he has a betting issue. And don't forget, these players are first of all humans. And there are players who love to bet. We've seen owners of club bet as well. So there's some people say the rule is quite harsh when it comes to betting, because the rule is don't bet at all as a footballer. But if you say don't bet at games you can influence, that would have been much better. But it is what it is. I'll wait and see. We hear he has time to right now for him to
respond to the FA charges. He has until the 5th of April to respond.
He was fined 200,000 euros earlier this year, giving it a 18-month ban of reduced to 10. We hear he's not able to play until August this year. But if he's found guilty, this man who was bought for £5 million will become a liability for AC Milan, because he could be out again for another long period of time. And you ask yourself, how do you pay £55 million for a player and he seems to be out over again?
Just 12 appearances for
the club.
Eddie
and those 12 appearances, he was impeccable, really amiable, but his decisions off the pitch affecting him, and Newcastle on the pitch of play.
Obviously, it's affecting him, and we hope that he gets out of this betting disorder as soon as, because we love to see Tonelli play football. It reminds me of this former midfielder that once played for Liverpool. I'm trying to recall his name. Not Gilardino. I will try to get his name before the end of the show. That guy was quite electrifying, but betting issues, injuries, on and off the pitch issues kept them from reaching their peak. All right, away from that, Sport Bishop, let's touch down at the world of transfer.
But before we do that as well, let's quickly let's let you know that England manager Gareth Southgate is saying that he's going to name an expanded initial Euro 24 squad, because UEFA is saying they may consider requests to increase or reinstate the list from 23 to 26 man list. So
just 3 players
extra,
increase, and he wants to have a pool of players.
He said he would make a provisional squad for on 21st of May 2 days after the end of the Premier League, and then at some point, we didn't, unlike the previous two tournaments that had 26, Saturday was then reduced to 23. But we're waiting if UEFA could reconsider to increase to 26. But he said he will make a pool as early as the 1st of May. I wonder which players will make it to the pool in the 1st of May. Also, we in the Women's Champions League, we'll come back to the England team. We know that 2 teams have booked their place in the Women's Champions League semi-final. One is England. They played a 1-0 draw with Ajax at the Stamford Bridge. Ramirez scored in the 34th minute, while Grant equalized in the 65th minute of that encounter at the Stamford Bridge. That game ended 4-1 on aggregate. For Lyon, they were in free scoring mode with a hat-trick brace from Cascarino. Talk about Dolphin Cascarino. And of course, not forgetting that lady I love so much, Kadidiatu Gianni, scoring as well as scoring twice in the 90+1 and 90+6 minutes. 2 braces from 2 players enabled them beat Benfica by 4-1 and also qualifying 6-2 on aggregate. Games continues tonight as well in the other quarterfinals of the Women's Champions League, where Barcelona women will take on SK Brand women, and of course Paris Saint-Germain will take on BK Häcken. The winner of the second leg, on aggregate, will join Chelsea and of course Lyon in the final 4.
Imagine Lyon, Chelsea, and maybe Barcelona and Paris Saint-Germain in the last 4-team standing.
Barcelona have been winners. Lyon has won it 8 times. Chelsea have not won it.
They haven't?
They've been trying.
But they haven't played in the final either.
They have at least once. They were beaten by Barcelona.
In the final?
Exactly. So and don't forget, this is the final hooray for Emma Hayes, who will be leaving the club. So, and she's also at the verge of winning the quadruple. Certainly Liverpool were there to Man United beat them in the FA Cup. That's in the men's category. And she can also win the quadruple as well. Talking about Emma Hay winning the FA Cup, the league, where she's still top of the table, the League Cup, and of course the Champions League.
Hopefully this might just be the year for Chelsea, and what their men cannot do. Hopefully
they don't have done it now. They don't have done it. They've won the Champions League now. They won it twice. Don't make it look like Chelsea. I know Chelsea.
Somebody will say, what is wrong with Uncle Fine?
I know that in Daunting Waters right now, they're in area 11, right?
Of course, they are.
Yeah, but come on. They were at some point.
Let the women put smiles on the face of the men. At least since the men have won it, the women can also.
Is a whooping ground for the men's team. Let the women's team be winning.
And somebody said even the women could not win it yesterday at home. All right.
Something is wrong with Stafford.
In the world of transfer, we hear that Habs now have a 10-man shortlisted for a new striker this summer with RB Leipzig's Slovenians Benjamin Sesko, who is just 20 years old, and also Victor Gyökeres, as well as Sweden international Alexander Isak. We hear that Victor Osimhen is still part of this party. 10 players. Team Arsenal FC have shortlisted for their striking position this summer.
If there's one thing that, to be sincere, there's one thing that Arsenal need is a striker. I think it's very obvious that they do need a striker. Very important, they need a striker, and it's something they must work out for. Before then, let's go to the phone line, sir, and let's hear from what is called. Hello, what's the name and where are you calling from?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening to you. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Okay, this is Demola from Durumi.
Demola from Durumi. Demola, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Talk to us, Demola.
What's on your mind, Demola?
Let me focus on our former defender. I'm a Barcelona fan.
Okay.
Start for my former defender, Dani Alves. You know, someone that night party is already master. Even though if they will organize night party in prison, I think we will see attempt. They are not. We see attend night party in the prison, even though they are not. They don't give in the day. But I think it should change. It should change. And yes, and I want to talk about Nigeria again.
Go ahead.
You see, Nigeria and Nigeria is like Barcelona. When Xavi win trophy for Barcelona last season, no fans talk anything, make any comment.
Okay.
But this season that things was very hard for us. Every fans was talking that we should pursue service to resign. That is exactly what is happening in issue of Nigeria football. Now, Ilidi, he win first game, he win Ghana. everyone was saying that they should give him the job. Now, he loses the second match to Mali. Everybody again that said that they should give him the job was saying that they should not give him the job again. He is not qualified for the job.
Can you please?
I didn't know which time we want to give our individual coach support. And they should not forget that this is the man that NNF have not give support to this friendly match. They have not given no assistant coach. There are some technical coach that is not here.
All right, Demola.
So let me just cut off there. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Demola. Thanks for your contribution. I think he had a job. I don't know if the job was the coach, the assistant coach, the psychologist.
He was completely
everything.
everything,
absolutely, for the Super Eagles of Nigeria in that friendly game.
All right, let's take this message from our WhatsApp page. It reads, good evening, guys. Franklin from Area 1 talking about Alves and party life. Man is just happy to gain his freedom back. I wouldn't blame him though. He should play safe after going through a rehabilitation process. I'm already looking to this weekend games so far. Less injury concern for us now coming from the international break. Ben White and Tomiyasu putting pen to paper. The future is secured left, right and center. Just pray for Bayern and City. We will be there. Wow. This guy's already looking ahead. He said pray for Barcelona and pray for Manchester City. Sport Bishop quickly before we delve out of the studios. And the world of basketball at the Golden State Warriors claim a 101-98 victory against the Orlando Magic despite the early ejection of forward Draymond Green. Draymond Green's ejection didn't stop the Golden State Warriors from getting that all-important win against Orlando Magic. See, when you're good, you're good.
You're absolutely good, and I think that's what worked out for Draymond Green. And of course, the Golden State Warriors, a fantastic victory yesterday night, or at least early hours of this morning. 101-93 victory in that encounter. And I tell you, the Golden State are moving forward, but it's more. I don't really count when it comes to the season. When they go into the playoffs, is when I begin to see the big boys, the men player from the men. Right now, you can wobble into the playoff and still end up winning it. It can happen any day, anytime. But against played Wizard lost to the next 119-122. The Hornets beat the Cavaliers 118-111. The Raptors lost to the Knicks 101-145. The 76ers were beaten by the Clippers 107-108, just 1 point. Hawks 120-106 against the Trailblazers. The Chicago Bulls beat the Pacers 125-99. The Timberwolves defeated the Pistons 106-91. The Thunder lost to the Rockets after overtime 126-132. The Grizzlies lost to the LA Lakers, who are having a good time, 124-136. The Jazz lost to the Spurs at 111-118, and the Nuggets were beaten by the Phoenix Suns 97-104.
We wish we can go on and on and on, but unfortunately we can't, as our time is fast spent.
Kudos to Jannik Sinner for going through to the semifinals of the Miami Open alongside Victoria Azarenka and Narabakina, not forgetting Daniel Collins, all through to the semifinals of the Miami Open. We'll bring you up to speed early hours, 8:30 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Bright and early.
Absolutely, where we're telling you all about the latest happenings in the Miami Open, all the way from the United States.
It's going to be a Good Friday edition, and one woman, she's looking good already.
Hey. Flattery is not going to save you people. 3 extra minutes. I was looking at you, and you, Sports Bishop, I'm looking straight into your eyes, and you are even adding more stories.
Come
on. When you know that your time is off.
In sports, there's always extra.
We do this for you.
Not here.
We do it for you.
the lounge of sports, not the field.
Blessing, we do this for you.
You do not do this for me. You do what for me? Pay do what for me?
We put it to you that we do it for you.
I put it to you back. If it's putting, let's keep putting things where they should not be.
Absolutely.
All right, join us on the show. Sport Lounge come tomorrow at 4 p.m. We will be bright to talk more sport from us to you.
We're done.
And we are gone.
More. God bless.
No stress.
Look at you. You can't even stay focused.
This woman is just blinded.
It's blessing. She's blinded.
Let's stay focused on the things to come. VOP Lifestyle 360 coming right up with me, Chiwa Blessing, and you. It's going to be promising. It's going to be amazing. You're going to learn so much. And we're going to party. Party after party.
Bye for now, and please do have your party.